Okay, we're live.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Okay, so some of the commenters wanted to know what got you into trading.
So I've been trading for 22 years. I got interested in 1998, and initially I did not know what I was doing. So similar to Robin Hooders of today, I was pretty clueless. So it was like back in 1998, 1999. So I was trading internet stocks, and we were making like $5,000
There
a
was
day or
internet
something.
back then.
Yeah, we had internet started in 1994 or something.
So you were ahead of the curve.
No, I wasn't ahead of the curve, but I mean, I didn't know much about computers except how to trade stocks. So
How did they trade before that?
I guess you had to call the broker, but I never called the broker. There was a online broker called Quick and Riley, and I opened an account with Quick and Riley. Before that, I had mutual fund with like T. Rowe Price, Technology Science and Technology Fund. So that you had to like send a written application, stuff like that. So I started trading, lost a bunch of money in 2000. But before that, I made a lot of money too. I was trading this stock Emulex. And I still remember there was one day in 1999 that Emulex, somebody put on like a false press release, and Emulex fell down like 50-60% intraday before it recovered. So I had like $40,000, and I was trading, and I think I lost quite a bit
What
of
got
money.
you into trading?
What got me into, I was in a small town, and I was the only psychiatrist in the town, and there was like a cardiologist who was interested in trading. So both of us started trading, and the guy was a super genius. But we were like researching stocks, and there was a stock called Network Solutions, which registered domain names and stuff like that. So, but I mean, I was trying to read some books about technical analysis, but I did not really have a clue.
So are some of the commenters that also asked what are some of the books? So we know Reminiscence of a Stock Operator is the book that you recommend to all of our friends. And then what are some of the other ones that were helpful to you in your early days?
Well, How to Make Money in Stocks by William O'Neill. That's the standard book that every speculator should be reading, a speculator investor. But I have read Reminiscences of a
The Art of War.
I mean, no, it's not directly relevant. I mean, it's
Rich
cool
Dad, Poor Dad. Those are some.
No. Those are. I mean, the book that really influenced me initially was back in 1998. I read this book, The Millionaire Next Door, like Stanley and Danko or something like that.
What's the one I just got you that was pretty good? We read most of it together. The Quant.
Oh yeah, about the quantitative trade, the quants trading, like Simmons.
Yeah.
There's a multi-billionaire Simmons, so he's like I forgot the guy's first name. So, but Reminiscences I read really early on. I believe in 1998 or 99.
Is it still relevant today?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I've read it like 20 times, 30 times, and I love to read it every chance that I get, because trading wisdom is that you find in Reminiscences it's like the Bible of speculation.
Just like the DSM-5.
It's better than that.
Well, I mean, okay.
All right.
So do you feel that there are that there's patterns? I mean, is that a thing? So like what someone or something was doing, 50 years from now, that's relevant today?
Oh yeah, the guy was like Jesse Livermore. He was trading like in early 1900s, and he was in those bucket shops in late 1800, early 1900s, and everything that is in Reminiscences is extremely relevant. I mean, not the technical aspect of it, like not the mechanics of it, but it's extremely relevant. And the most important thing that is relevant to current market is you got to hold your winners. It's not your thinking, but it's your sitting that makes you the most money. And as you've observed with our portfolio, like our portfolio went down like huge back in 2019, like percentage wise, I would say it went down like, 70-80%.
Well, and one of the things that we've talked about is kind of the human psychology behind trading. We've talked about that frequently, but also knowing, I think it's important for people to know their weaknesses. One of the things that we've discussed as far as your own personal draw to a particular company as such is attachment. And that once you like a stock and you've found it, it has a certain level of attachment for you.
Yeah, because you spend so much time and research in finding a great stock, because the great stocks are not that frequent.
Should there be emotion involved in trading, though?
You cannot separate it. I mean, people. I mean, if you
with
are
your own money, that's true.
You cannot.
And we are not giving advice. This is our
Oh
own
yeah. This
personal
is not.
experiences.
Yeah. We need to make that disclaimer. So any and every and single video that we do is not investment advice
or medical advice.
or medical advice or any kind of advice. It's just for fun. Basically, and don't take us seriously and don't follow our advice. So basically, it boils down to, like, say, in my 22 years of trading, the great companies that I have traded or invested
Chipotle,
and made money. Chipotle,
Facebook.
Well, I mean, let's start from the beginning.
Okay,
so
well.
back Google back in 2005. Then, I mean, I bought Amazon back in 2002, but I did not hold to it.
The ones that I know specifically that were the ones you felt pretty strongly about, we had Chipotle, Facebook. Facebook, you were trading at the time we met.
Facebook was the one that I made
and pretty actively. Well, I think, I mean, maybe percentage wise, but we've definitely built most of our position and our from Tesla.
Yeah, I wish I was trading Tesla in 2013.
But we've made the most in Tesla.
Yeah, we just got lucky. I
don't know. No, because all through the years I have heard it's going to go up. It's going to go up. It's going to go up. This is going to be $1,000 stock. It's going to be a $700 stock back when it was trading, in the 200s. And we would hear this, even like our personal trainer was looking at us like you were crazy. You were saying that, it was going to be, and you were right. So I don't know that there was luck so much as, if you have had a pretty good flair for picking trends and companies that are potentially in the infancy of what they can do.
I've missed out on a lot of companies that I should not have missed out, like Apple.
But I don't know that there's a missing out, because that's like saying if someone signed Jennifer Lawrence, but then they didn't sign Scarlett Johansson, that they missed out. I mean, it's like you went one direction and you had that. So, I mean, that doesn't mean, because you're pretty much an all or nothing kind of guy.
Right.
You're not a diverse trader. So it's likely that whatever you missed out on was because you were, into something else at that time.
Well, in Apple's case, I was super skeptical, and I was totally wrong. Not as skeptical about Apple because I use Apple products, but I was skeptical of the fact that everybody else knew that Apple was the golden stock at the time, and I figured that whatever is public knowledge is not worth knowing.
Okay,
so you are sometimes you're too smart for your own good.
Yes, so, and that usually is the way that you and I both are.
Yeah.
You know, is that if something is popular, we assume it's
right.
Yeah,
We tend to take a contrarian standpoint. So I mean,
That's-
right now, like every Tom, Dick, and Harry and their brother, sister, and cousin, they are crazy about Tesla. So and then everybody thinks that Tesla is gonna keep on going up and up
It's
and up.
funny because I remember when we were driving, we won't say where, but we were driving in the middle of nowhere in the Model X, and it was dead of winter, and we pulled up in the middle of nowhere to use the restroom at a Subway, and some people saw the Falcon Wings come up, and they come running out. That was a couple years back, just to see the cars. So I mean, you know, I think we maybe not were super early on Tesla, but
no, we were not super early,
definitely on the earlier side. I mean, we've been to Tesla stores all over the world.
Right.
I mean, and so it's not just as a stock. I mean, we've been pretty avid supporters of the company in general.
Oh, right.
And the same way we are, you know, about maybe particular medication or pharmaceutical companies we think could potentially do well.
But we don't invest in that.
Right. No, we don't invest in it, but we do the research. And, you know, I one of the things that I had wanted to invest in quite some time ago that you stopped me was Lulu.
Yeah, I mean, I know Lululemon. That it's really good. I mean, what's your experience about retailers? Because you've looked at Ulta and Lulu.
Ulta, it's been pretty stagnant. I think retails are a risk right now,
right?
Because of Corona, and I think that. And the reason I felt and that we'll keep it short, but the reason I felt Lulu was going to do well, even though this was a bad climate, was because of the fact that it's at-home wear. So you've got people that are having to work from home. It's comfortable, it's fashionable, but it's practical. And I thought, and their online marketing is very good. So I thought that would survive. Ulta had a little bit of a harder time because they, you know, one, you can use filters, so you don't necessarily need makeup when you're having to work from home. Or, and secondly, people like to try on their products or match their colors. So it's a little bit harder to market that exclusively online. And so I did think they were going to take a hit. I don't know what they're doing right now.
Well, guess what? Tesla turned positive.
So
Tesla is at $2,016.
So we do have more to say. We have a hard time in the evenings because.
Let me sum it up. So because I mean I don't want to be all over the place.
We got to keep it under 15 minutes.
Well, I don't want to be all over the place and not get relevance. So the relevance here is you got to recognize a great company when you come across one, and you got to trade that company for several years or buy and hold that company.
Watch it, cultivate
Watch it closely. I mean, Tesla has got an amazing future, but Tesla rally is not going to last. I mean, the stock is going to go to
this rally. This won't be the only one.
Right. I mean, it's a 3,000. The stock is probably headed to 3,000.
Well, in the next video, we might address the split and.
I mean, I've traded great companies like the Baidu, Google, Chipotle, Tesla, Facebook, XYZ. Anyway.
All right. Let us know what other questions you may have. Thank you, and we'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Bye.
We have